Can a gold mining company be a steward of the environment when the act of mining affects the natural landscape? By its very nature, the extraction of mineral resources has an impact on the environment. At Barrick Gold Corporation, the goal of environment teams us to minimize the company's environmental footprint and conserve the land, air, water, and wildlife wherever they operate. Let's visit their Pueblo Viejo mine construction project in the Dominican Republic to learn how they're doing it. Respecting and working carefully with the natural environment, the land, air, water, and wildlife is critical to any mining company's social license to operate. Here's the litmus test for whatever an operation will be viewed favorably or unfavorably by its host communities, governments, and stakeholders. The Pueblo Viejo project is a world-class gold deposit located in the province of Sanchez Ramirez, 100 kilometers northwest of Santo Domingo, on the site of a former mining operation that has lain inactive since 1999. Barrick Gold Corporation holds a 60% interest in the project, with Goldcorp owning the remaining 40%. Pueblo Viejo was acquired when Barrick completed its purchase of the mining company Place at Dome in 2006. Barrick is the project's operator. When the original mines ceased operation, acid rock drainage had environmental impacts on the area around the site, primarily as the result of rain washing over unreclaimed and exposed sulfur-bearing rock at the former open mine pits.
Historically, mines were unpermitted. They were allowed to construct and operate without a strong set of regulations. Today, those things cannot happen, where mines leave a legacy that lasts for generations once they've closed or ceased to operate. At Pueblo Viejo, this mine meets all of its current Dominican legislation as well as World Bank and international standards.
In modern mining, environmental management begins before mining starts, not when it ends. Soil and erosion management are carefully planned for, taking into consideration the area's climate factors such as its amount of rainfall. Rainfall at Pueblo Viejo averages 1,800 millimeters a year, and that's just shy of 6 feet, and 2/3 of it generally falls between May and October. That much rain can cause severe erosion problems. Revegetation is done to limit the effects of erosion, which unmanaged can cloud waterways with higher levels of naturally occurring sediment. Dikes, berms, and barriers are built as a part of water erosion management planning. They slow runoff velocities, diminishing sedimentation in waterways. The water is brown from clay, but would be much worse without the dam. To assist with erosion prevention and water management, grass has been seeded on slopes at the construction site, and coconut mats, made and purchased from local women, are laid along the slopes of a recently constructed access road to aid in stabilization.
In modern mining, the environmental management system commits the environmental program to performing as much concurrent reclamation and rehabilitation as possible earlier rather than waiting for the mine to close in 20 or 30 years. This slope represents an example of concurrent reclamation. The concept is to leave the site in better shape than it was prior to your arrival.
Barrick's proven management practices are in place throughout the life of the mine to protect, reclaim, and even enhance the environment where possible. These steps are carried out on an ongoing basis, parallel to construction and production. When an area is no longer needed for active mining, it is contoured and replanted with vegetation to match the previous natural landscape.
Barrick has a very broad environmental management plan for the Pueblo Viejo project. That plan is based on obligations that emerge from international and national standards, as well as specific permit-related obligations or commitments made in their various environmental impact studies. For the Pueblo Viejo project, one commitment is to go forward and do concurrent reclamation or rehabilitation of construction and historical related impacts. This nursery represents one small aspect of a broad environmental management system in which species from this nursery, which are native and or threatened or extinct species, are being reintroduced into the natural environment.
To maintain the ecological integrity of the site, 193 plant species were identified before construction began, including 6 designated by the government as protected species. Protected species are marked for relocation and transplantation. Almost 320,000 large palm trees have been moved as part of an environmental site plan that includes species recovery and habitat protection and research. More than 400,000 protected plants have been relocated with an 80% transplant success rate. Local residents were hired and trained to identify and transplant thousands of plants from the impacted area. A reforestation program around mine property has also been underway, planting about 2,000 native trees a month.
As you've seen, Pueblo Viejo is off to a good start with the implementation of its environmental management system. At Barrick, responsible environmental management is central to our success as a mining company. We want the Pueblo Viejo project to stand out as a world-class facility.
Like most industries, mining is much different today than it was 10, 20, or even 50 years ago. Barrick Gold Corporation recognizes that there can be significant impacts to the existing natural environment, both temporary and long-lasting due to mining operations. As a result, they take precautionary approach throughout the life of a mine by first assessing potential impacts, then evaluating, and then how to mitigate or control them. Pueblo Viejo is an excellent example of the success of the company's environmental stewardship. To learn more about Barrick Gold Corporation, its mining operations and environmental initiative, log on to www.barrick.com.